Women over 60. 5 sexy ways to kiss a man and turn him on. He'll think about it all day. Margaret was 68 when Robert told her something that completely surprised her. They'd been dating for 6 months, and one evening, after a particularly passionate kiss, Robert pulled back slightly, looked at her with intensity, and said, "Do you have any idea what you just did to me? I'm going to be thinking about that kiss for the rest of the week." Margaret was genuinely confused. What did I do differently? It was just a kiss. Robert shook his head. It wasn't just a kiss. You kissed me like you'd been wanting to do it all day, like you couldn't wait another second. That level of desire, I felt it in my entire body. That conversation opened Margaret's eyes to something she'd never fully understood. Kissing, real kissing, has extraordinary power at any age. But most women over 60 have either forgotten how to kiss with genuine passion or have fallen into routine, perfunctory kissing that doesn't create any real arousal. And men notice. They notice the difference between a polite peck and a kiss that communicates genuine desire. Here's what women over 60 often don't realize. Men at this stage of life are deeply responsive to kissing in ways they might not have been when they were younger. A passionate, intentional kiss can create arousal that bypasses all the anxieties about aging bodies and physical performance. It can communicate desire more powerfully than anything you say. And it can turn an ordinary moment into something he'll replay in his mind for days. Subscribe to this channel right now because we're about to reveal 5 specific ways to kiss a man that create intense arousal and genuine turn-on. These aren't theoretical techniques from magazine articles. These are real women over 60 who have used with powerful effect, and that men consistently describe as incredibly sexy and memorable. Let's talk about kissing like the powerful, intimate tool it actually is. The first sexy way to kiss. The anticipation kiss. Make him wait for it. Most kisses are predictable. You lean in, he leans in, lips meet, kiss happens. But the anticipation kiss is different. You create a moment where he can see that you want to kiss him, where the tension builds, where he's waiting and wanting, and then, only then, do you actually kiss him. The delay creates arousal that instant gratification never could. Linda was 65 when she discovered this with Thomas. They were having dinner, and Linda felt the urge to kiss him. Instead of just leaning across the table for a quick kiss, Linda caught his eyes, held his gaze, let him see the desire in her expression. She leaned forward slightly, close enough that Thomas thought she was going to kiss him. Then she paused, just inches from his lips, and whispered, "I really want to kiss you right now." Thomas leaned forward to close the distance, but Linda pulled back just slightly, maintaining that agonizing almost but not quite closeness. She let the tension build for several seconds, seconds where Thomas could feel her breath, could see her desire, but couldn't quite reach her lips. Only then did Linda finally close the distance and kiss him deeply. Thomas later told her that those few seconds of anticipation had been almost unbearably arousing. "You made me want it. By the time you actually kissed me, I was desperate for it." That's completely different from a regular kiss where there's no buildup. Dr. Helen Fisher, biological anthropologist, explains that anticipation activates the brain's reward system more powerfully than immediate gratification. When you delay something desirable, the brain releases dopamine in anticipation, creating a high that's actually more intense than the reward itself. By creating anticipation before kissing, you're literally making his brain chemistry work in your favor. Patricia used this technique differently with David. When saying goodbye after a date, instead of the automatic goodbye kiss, Patricia would pause at her door, look at David, and say softly, "I'm not ready to kiss you goodnight yet. I want to think about it a little longer first." She'd maintain eye contact, let David see that she was genuinely thinking about kissing him, building the anticipation. Sometimes she'd reach up and almost touch his lips with her fingers, then pull back. Only after several moments of this tension would she finally pull him close and kiss him. David admitted that those goodbye kisses became something he thought about constantly. You turned a routine goodbye kiss into this event, this moment of intense wanting. I'd drive home completely turned on just from a kiss because of how you built up to it. Helen tried this with Richard in a different context. During a movie at home, Helen felt the urge to kiss Richard. Instead of just leaning over and kissing him, she paused the movie, turned to face him, and said, "I can't concentrate on this movie. I keep thinking about kissing you." She let that statement hang in the air, watching Richard's response, seeing his arousal build just from knowing she was thinking about it. Then she moved closer, slowly, deliberately, letting him anticipate what was coming. By the time their lips met, Richard was completely focused on her, the movie forgotten. Here's how to do the anticipation kiss. When you want to kiss him, don't do it immediately. Let him see the desire in your eyes. Move closer slowly. Get close enough that he can feel your breath. Pause there. Let the tension build. Sometimes even verbalize, "I really want to kiss you," or "I've been thinking about kissing you all day." Make him feel the wanting, the anticipation, the build-up. Then when the tension is almost unbearable, kiss him deeply and passionately. The anticipation will make the actual kiss 10 times more powerful.
The second sexy way to kiss is the surprise kiss. Catch him off guard. This is the opposite of the anticipation kiss. Instead of building tension, you create surprise by kissing him when he's not expecting it, in moments where kissing seems unlikely. The unexpectedness creates a jolt of arousal because his brain wasn't prepared, and surprise activates pleasure centers powerfully. Carol was 67 when she started using surprise kisses with Kenneth. Kenneth would be doing something completely mundane, washing dishes, reading the paper, checking his phone. Carol would walk up behind him, turn him around, and kiss him deeply and passionately, without warning or preamble. The first time she did it, Kenneth was so surprised he dropped what he was holding. "What was that for?" he asked, breathless. Carol smiled. "I just wanted to. I was thinking about you and couldn't wait." Kenneth later told her that those surprise kisses were some of the most exciting moments of their relationship. "You kiss me when I'm not expecting it, when my defenses are down, and it feels so genuine and spontaneous. It's not a kiss because the moment calls for it. It's a kiss because you wanted to." Dorothy used this approach with Michael during a completely non-romantic situation. They were grocery shopping, standing in the cereal aisle, and Dorothy suddenly pulled Michael close and kissed him passionately right there in the middle of the store. Michael was shocked. "What's gotten into you?" Dorothy replied, You've gotten into me, and sometimes I can't wait for the right moment to show you." That spontaneous public kiss, nothing inappropriate, just passionate, communicated to Michael that Dorothy's desire for him wasn't reserved for private, romantic moments. She wanted him in ordinary moments, in public places, when nothing particularly sexy was happening. That level of consistent desire was incredibly arousing for Michael. Dr. Lucy Brown, neuroscientist who studies love and attraction, explains that unexpected positive stimuli create stronger neural responses than expected stimuli. When you kiss him at an unexpected moment, his brain experiences a surge of pleasure chemicals that's more intense than during predictable kisses. You're literally creating a bigger neurological impact. Here's how to do the surprise kiss. Look for moments when he's not expecting intimacy, when he's doing something mundane, when you're in a non-romantic setting, when it's not a traditional kissing moment. Walk up to him without preamble, turn him toward you if necessary, and kiss him deeply and passionately, without warning or preamble. Don't explain or build up to it, just do it. The surprise and spontaneity communicate that your desire for him isn't situational, it's constant, and that's incredibly arousing. The third sexy way to kiss. The slow kiss. Take your time and draw it out. In our rushed world, most kisses are brief. A quick peck, a moment of contact, then moving on to the next thing. But the slow kiss is different. It's deliberate, unhurried, focused entirely on the sensation and connection of kissing. It communicates that you're not kissing him to check a box or as a transition to something else. You're kissing him because kissing him is the point. Helen was 66 when she discovered the power of slow kissing with Richard. They'd been kissing in their usual way, pleasant but brief, a prelude to other intimacy. One evening, Helen decided to slow everything down. When Richard moved to deepen the kiss quickly, Helen gently slowed the pace. She kissed him softly, slowly, thoroughly. She focused entirely on his lips, the texture, the taste, the sensation. She varied the pressure, soft, then firmer, then soft again. She'd pull back slightly, just enough to break contact, then return. She'd kiss his upper lip, then his lower lip, then both together. What Helen was doing was making kissing itself the entire focus, not a gateway to something else. She kissed Richard for long, unhurried minutes, communicating through her pace and attention that she was savoring every moment. Richard's response was powerful. His breathing changed. His body relaxed into the kiss rather than rushing forward. When they finally paused, Richard was visibly affected. I don't even know how to describe that. You made me feel like you could kiss me forever and never get bored. Dr. Ian Kerner, sex therapist, explains that slow, focused attention creates arousal through presence rather than intensity. When you kiss slowly, you're communicating that this moment is enough, that you're not rushing toward a goal, that you're fully present with him. That kind of attention is rare and incredibly arousing. Patricia tried this with David and discovered something interesting. When she kissed him slowly, thoroughly, without rushing, David's typical performance anxiety disappeared. He wasn't worried about what came next because Patricia had made it clear that kissing itself was satisfying her completely. That removed pressure allowed David to relax and actually become more aroused than when he felt rushed. Linda used slow kissing as a way to reconnect with Thomas after they'd had a disagreement. Instead of jumping back into their normal routine, Linda kissed him slowly, gently, thoroughly. The slow pace communicated care and intention. It was a kiss that said, "I'm here. I'm present. You matter to me." Thomas later told her that slow kiss had been more emotionally powerful than anything they had said in their conversation about the conflict. Ruth discovered that slow kisses worked particularly well as a way to initiate intimacy without creating performance pressure for James, who sometimes struggled with erectile challenges. By making kissing the focus rather than a prelude, Ruth communicated that she wasn't rushing toward intercourse. That removed James's anxiety about performance, which paradoxically made him more aroused and more physically responsive. Here's how to do the slow kiss. When you kiss him, resist the urge to rush or intensify quickly. Kiss him softly and gently. Focus entirely on the sensation of his lips. Vary the pressure, but keep the pace slow. Pull back slightly, then return. Kiss different parts of his lips, upper, lower, corners. Occasionally pause and just look at him, then kiss him again. Make the kiss last for minutes, not seconds. Communicate through your pace that you could do this all day, that kissing him is pleasure enough on its own. The slow, thorough attention will create arousal that rushed kissing never achieves.
The fourth sexy way to kiss. The verbal kiss. Tell him what you're feeling. Most kisses are silent, but the verbal kiss includes words that communicate your desire, your pleasure, your thoughts. You're not just kissing, you're telling him what the kiss is doing to you, what you're feeling, what you want. The combination of physical sensation and verbal communication creates intensity that silent kissing can't match. Margaret discovered this with Robert accidentally. They were kissing, and Margaret murmured without thinking, "God, I love kissing you." Robert's response was immediate and visceral. He kissed her more deeply, his hands pulled her closer, his breathing quickened. Later he told her, "Hearing you say that while we were kissing, knowing that you were loving it as much as I was, that made everything more intense." From that point, Margaret started incorporating words into kissing deliberately. While kissing Robert, she'd pull back slightly and say, "You have no idea what you're doing to me right now." Or, "I've been wanting to kiss you all day." Or, "This is exactly what I needed." The verbal communication amplified the physical sensation. Carol used this technique differently with Kenneth. While kissing, she'd verbalize her desire. "I want you so much right now." Or, "You make me feel things I haven't felt in years." Or, "I can't get enough of this." Kenneth later admitted that Carol's words during kissing created arousal that purely physical kissing never had. "You put into words what I was hoping you were feeling." That confirmation is incredibly sexy. Dr. Wednesday Martin writes about how verbal communication during physical intimacy can dramatically increase arousal by eliminating uncertainty and creating explicit mutual consent and desire. When you verbalize what you're feeling during kissing, you're giving him real-time feedback that increases his confidence and arousal. Here's how to do the verbal kiss. While kissing, occasionally pull back just enough to speak. Tell him what you're feeling. "I love kissing you." "You feel so good." "This is amazing." Tell him what you want. "Kiss me harder." "Don't stop." "More." Tell him what he's doing to you. "You're turning me on so much right now." "I want you." The words amplify the physical sensation and create explicit communication about desire that eliminates uncertainty and increases arousal for both of you. The fifth sexy way to kiss is the full body kiss. Use more than just your lips. Most kisses involve just lips and maybe tongue, but the full body kiss engages your entire body, your hands, your body pressed against his, your leg between his legs, your breath, your sounds. You're not just kissing with your mouth, you're kissing with your whole self. This creates overwhelming sensory input that makes the kiss unforgettable. Linda discovered this with Thomas. During a kiss, instead of keeping her hands passive, Linda ran her hands through Thomas's hair, down his neck, across his shoulders. She pressed her body against his. She made soft sounds of pleasure. She was fully engaged in the kiss with her entire body, not just her lips. Thomas's response was dramatic. He later told her, "When you kiss me like that with your whole body involved, it's not just arousing, it's overwhelming in the best way. I feel desired not just mentally, but physically, like you can't get close enough to me." Carol tried this approach with Kenneth after reading about it. During a kiss, she deliberately engaged her entire body. She ran her hands down Kenneth's back. She pressed herself against him. She made small sounds of pleasure. She gently bit his lower lip. She varied what she was doing so that Kenneth was experiencing multiple sensations simultaneously: the kiss, her touch, her sounds, her body against his. Kenneth was overwhelmed in a good way. He told her later, "That wasn't just a kiss. That was like full contact intimacy. I didn't know where one sensation ended and another began. It was incredible." Patricia used the full body kiss as foreplay with David. Instead of kissing being a brief prelude to other intimacy, Patricia made kissing an extended full body experience. She'd kiss David while simultaneously touching him, pressing against him, using her leg between his, creating contact and gentle pressure.
By the time they moved beyond kissing, both of them were thoroughly aroused. Helen discovered that full-body kissing helped with Richard's occasional erectile challenges. By engaging his entire body rather than just focusing on genital areas, Helen created arousal throughout his whole nervous system. The full-body stimulation helped Richard relax and respond in ways that more focused sexual touch sometimes didn't achieve. Ruth used full-body kissing standing up with James, pressing him against a wall and kissing him while pressing her body fully against his. The position created intensity and communicated desire in a way that gentle, seated kissing never quite achieved. He described it as being completely consumed by you in the best possible way. Dr. Emily Nagoski writes about how arousal is enhanced by multiple simultaneous stimuli. When you engage multiple senses and multiple parts of the body during kissing, you create arousal that's more intense and more memorable than single stimulus experiences. Here's how to do the full-body kiss. When you kiss him, engage your entire body. Run your hands through his hair, down his back, across his chest. Press your body against his. Use your leg, place it between his legs, creating contact and gentle pressure. Make sounds, soft moans or sighs that communicate pleasure. Vary your touch, gentle then firmer, slow then faster. Occasionally, pull his body closer to you with your hands. The goal is to create overwhelming sensory experience where he's not just experiencing a kiss, but experiencing your entire desire for him expressed through your whole body.
Here's what these 5 ways to kiss reveal. Kissing at 60 and beyond can be just as powerful, arousing, and memorable as it was at any other age. Maybe even more so because you have the confidence and self-awareness to be intentional about it. You're not just kissing reflexively or routinely. You're using kissing as a tool to communicate desire, create arousal, and build connection. Margaret, Linda, Carol, Dorothy, Patricia, Helen, Ruth, Barbara, all of these women discovered that when they kissed intentionally using these 5 approaches, their partners' responses were dramatic and consistent. The men felt more desired, more aroused, more connected. The relationships deepened. The intimate lives intensified. And here's the most liberating part. None of these 5 ways to kiss require youth, perfect appearance, or physical flexibility. They require presence, intention, confidence, and genuine desire. You already have everything you need to kiss in ways that turn him on completely and create moments he'll remember and crave. Stop thinking of kissing as routine or as just a prelude to other things. Start using kissing as the powerful, intimate tool it actually is. Create anticipation, use surprise, slow down, and savor. Add verbal communication. Engage your whole body. Watch how he responds. Watch how his desire for you intensifies. Leave a comment below about which approach you're excited to try. Share this video with women who need to rediscover the power of passionate kissing after 60. You deserve passionate intimacy, and now you know exactly how kissing can create it. I'll see you in the next video.